Welcome to Curious Conversations with Tali and Sarah.
We sit down and chat with business owners, entrepreneurs, and some of the best conversation starters.
This is a podcast about real life lessons and people doing cool shit.
Faye and Lauren, welcome to Curious Conversations. Now,
Thank you.
I'm very interested in this chat because Tali and I are in the apparel business as well. Not as long as you guys,
No.
but coming on 13 years, but you guys have been in the industry for 40 years.
It sounds
long.
like older than you. That's why
Yeah.
it sounds so long. My
It sounds
goodness.
long, but
Yeah.
it hasn't felt long.
No. It's
That's
like just as
insane.
exciting today as it was 40 years ago, I've got to say.
That's amazing. It is so hard, I think, and we talk to a lot of businesses, obviously. It's very hard running a business. So to run a business for that long is absolutely amazing. So well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Faye, how did you get to start the business? Because you were previously a buyer.
Yeah. Previously a buyer at Witchery and Just Jeans. And, you know, I mean, I had a dream when I was 10 and I was talking to a friend. This is a true story. I was talking to a friend and I said, I'm going to start that business one day. She said, oh, you're always talking about it, but you never do it. And I thought, right, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Met a man. He was, you know, you surround yourself with the right people. Well, he was the one. So he wanted to start a pizza shop. Hope he's not listening. And I thought, pizza shop, nah, we're doing this the right way. So what I started. And big shift from going from becoming a buyer. You know, you're really important as a buyer.
Yeah.
You start your own business, all of a sudden you're nothing.
Yeah.
You don't have those
What a
five
shock.
assistants.
And you're not
No.
traveling and
Yeah, it's like it was all my money then. It was
Yes.
like, oh,
Scary.
Yeah.
it's a bit harder. But, you know, when I started the business, I thought, no, you know, I work so hard for other people. This is going to be fantastic. And then it got hard because I didn't have a clue. And that's why I did it, because I had no idea. I reckon if I had an idea, I might have waited a bit longer. I don't know. I was only
Really?
about 30. And then the same, like 2 months later, can I talk about going off the pill? I went off the pill.
Yeah,
It's one of those
absolutely.
that makes you sterile.
Yeah.
And my naturopath said, don't worry about it. You're sterile. You don't need anything. You know, you've been on this terrible pill for so long.
Yeah.
You won't have any kids. And I thought, yes, you beauty, because I wanted to be this career girl.
Yeah.
And I was pregnant 2 months later.
Wow.
So big business. And this baby right over here. So she came to work with me every day under under my desk. It was fun. A lot of pins. My biggest fear though was that you were going to eat some pins.
Yeah.
That was not good. Did I answer that question?
Yeah, no, you did. I loved hearing that.
So it was,
What was your biggest learning back in those days? Because you said it was hard. And,
because things don't go straight up, you know. That's what I thought. Business actually goes up, down, up, down, up, down. As long as it's kind of going up, you're winning.
Yeah.
So lots of that going on. But you know what? Even if you lose $1 million, you're not going to get that learning doing anything.
That's so true.
True.
You know, so that amount of money, which we probably did lose over the years, I suppose, because everything goes up and down, but we've got all back again and we're still doing it. What a fantastic learning. So right now, you know, I can't even say I'm an expert. I'm still learning heaps.
Yeah.
I still don't know. The environment, people, everything is just so different all the time.
It's always moving and changing.
It's always moving.
Yeah.
But that's the excitement, you know, the fact that you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you have
Keep
to
that.
pivot sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I just have a question. I loved how you said, you know, you are underneath the table and stuff. I'm obviously a working mum and I feel like my daughter just comes everywhere. That is amazing and super inspiring. Did you find that challenging at all, trying to balance running a business and then being a mum?
Okay. Well, the truth of it is that you actually become a robot. It sounds really trendy now, but back then robot wasn't a word. But you do become so robotic because you just have to do. Otherwise, you're not going to survive.
Yeah.
You know, so I've had 3 kids, right? And by the time I got to I think it was the second one, you know, if he pooed out of sequence, I was in a mess. Like, you know,
it's like
stick
so-
your finger in the back of the
Yeah.
nappy and there's poo on it. Horrible conversation, but
Yeah.
there was poo on it. And you have to get to work first before everyone else because you are the owner.
Yeah.
You know, you can't let
You've
anyone
got to
else
work
get
the
there.
hardest.
Yeah, work the hardest. I had that in my mind for so many years. That's dumb. Don't do that. Let everyone else work hard. So I've got to say it was really hard. But what happened after the third one? Okay, so 3 kids under the age of 4, which
Wow.
don't ask me why. It was all, they're all, no, the first one was definitely an accident. The second one was planned because she needed someone to play with. Sorry, Adrian.
Are
She
you
needed
the
someone to play
eldest?
with,
Are
so
you
mother
the
have
eldest?
another one, right? And then the third one was a major accident, and here I am with 3 little kids under the age of 4, and what the hell? So I don't think I slept for 5 years.
Wow. And you were running a business on top of that.
Running a business, I mean, of course, John was fantastic, but he was a man. They don't do what women do because they
don't
just don't get it. They don't get it. And the 3 of them came to work, so they all were under the table, and I remember I still had all the fashionista things, so I was dressed in this most amazing French outfit that I bought from going to my trip to Paris, and it was so stylish, and I was about to go to this big fashion event, and I just fed my baby, and I said, "Here, darling," to my husband.
Yeah.
And, of course, he did a projectile.
Oh.
Right down, covered my bra, undies, you name it. And I thought, oh, no, what do I do now? A whole warehouse full of clothes, but nothing that fits me. I'm tiny. I don't even know if we made size 8s back then. I might have been a size 6 by that stage. And so I had to find something to wear. And, when your outfit's not right, you're not feeling
good.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't a good night for me.
Yeah.
No. But, that was life. And then by the time my youngest was about 1 or 2, I had to find myself. I lost myself in all that because who the hell are you with 3 little kids running a business? You're nobody because you're giving so much of yourself. You don't even know where to find it. You just don't get it. So a lot of soul searching, a lot of spirituality stuff.
Love that.
It was heavy duty but amazing. I learned so much about people. Oh, my God. And I did so many amazing courses. I can't even tell who those people were, but they're all beautiful. I love you all. Just to find space for myself, to give myself a bit of love. Yeah. Because it was difficult. And you didn't have things like spas back then, or if you did, I didn't find any, because there was nothing about women supporting themselves. It was all about supporting everyone else back then. It shows you I'm a boomer now. That's exactly what it was like, and it stinks. I'm so glad that all you guys have got it right.
Yeah.
Especially my daughter. I said to my daughter, this is a funny story. I said to my daughter, the one thing I wished I'd done was had holidays. I never had holidays either. Oh. And you know what she's doing? Having lots of them.
Yeah, fuck yeah, do it. What's your earliest memory of all of this?
I remember being at all the warehouses, and they were really like old school rag trade type buildings, and there was fabrics, and there's the cutters and the makers. So it was a really different kind of diverse experience, not what you'd see just walking into a shop and it all looks really pretty.
Yeah.
But we were there. We were at, like, in all of our school holidays, we were in the warehouse, we were labeling garments, we would get every single minute was work. Our family would be in there on the weekends working, and there'd be the odd hard times through the journey, let's say the first 20 years of Motto, which is when I was a teenager and a child. And, sometimes the family had to chip in. So we'd be there doing the packaging and doing all the things that we had to do. It was just the norm for us. I didn't see any different. But look, it taught us work ethic, and it got us really immersed in the culture of Motto. So lucky you had one kid that wanted to come into the business.
I want to.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Hey, can you take us through the timeline of Motto? So like the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and now like 80s, were you stocked in Myer and the big departments?
Yes.
Okay.
We were doing wholesale. We had a couple of our own stores and making our own gear here locally. So we did the lot. I think we were just control freaks more than anything. We didn't know whether it was a good idea. I just wanted to make sure I knew exactly what was going on.
No, it hasn't changed.
I've got to know everything, which in one way is really annoying for everybody, but that's just the way I did it. So we didn't want to let anyone else do anything. We had to control it all. Yeah, very successful. And then, of course, the big crash came at the end of the 80s because we started in 85.
Yep.
The big crash came, and then things had to change. You redirect, and our style changed, whatever. But we're still making in Australia. It's only been about the past 10 years actually that we've gone to China, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was the 90s was when we went from the bottom and skyrocketed. The rest is history, you might say. That's where we did all our fancy stuff and bought a new car.
Oh, yeah. What contributed to that success? What did wholesale grow? What was it?
Okay, we stopped wholesale because they didn't pay.
Yeah.
It was a stressful, bad move, that one. It's basically, like there's a line that my husband uses all the time, and nothing is better than the right frock. Frock is a dress, okay?
Just blank faces.
Just find the right frock and everything will be fine. And that's what we lived by. And we did. We found the right range. We made it our own. This was when crushing and layering were in, and we became that shop. And I remember going to a business event, and I could hear people sort of behind me, they didn't know who I was, I don't think, and they were saying, that motto, I just can't believe it. They didn't even change their logo and they've transformed everything. And that's what it was. We didn't change anything. We just had the right frock.
Yeah.
So...
And you rode that wave.
Yeah, but I'll just say something else in there. Okay, so we did have bad times there, but we paid everyone. We did all the right thing because we didn't want to live with that. So it's a matter of what you can live with as well.
Yeah.
And the rag trade is like that because there's a lot of bad shit that goes, bad stuff that goes on in the rag trade. So anyway, so then we were popular and we were doing all. So that's basically the 90s. Then the 2000s. I have this belief that, actually I've jumped a step. We were doing corporate in that area. Then we jumped in the 2000s to the crushing area because every 10 years you've got to reinvent yourself. So I kind of live by that.
Yeah.
Once the 10 years was up, I'm thinking, so we've kind of had 4 looks now that we've been in business 4 years, and I just realised this is the year, isn't it? And it was the 40-year mark where we've changed our look completely.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's every 10 years, in my opinion. I mean, I make up these rules
but it works
to
for
suit
you.
to suit my business,
Yeah.
but actually they're kind of fact.
Yeah. And so when did you come involved in the business and what is your role?
So I came in the business around about 2006 or 2007.
Wow.
And prior to that, I was working in a fashion agency. And funnily enough, by coincidence, it was one of Motto's original agencies.
Oh, wow.
Which was completely coincidental.
Yeah.
And, I was doing developing their in-house range and things like that there. So very similar to natural progression into Motto. And I was thinking about, maybe it's time to change. And Mum said to me, I was living at home because I was about 20. And she's like, we want to do something with our online store. They had one, but it was nothing because it wasn't a thing back then, online shopping. And I said, oh, okay, well, do people want to shop online? And I was a bit skeptical, but I thought I sort of didn't like my job so much. I'm like, I'll just go and give it a crack. So I came into the business and just had to learn everything from the ground up. So I came in to run their e-commerce division, which at that point was nothing. It basically didn't exist. And the rest is history. So now I have taken over the family business in 2021.
Amazing.
But for the last 20 years, predominantly my focus has been on e-commerce. And since then now it's sort of developed into more product-based focus.
Can I tell my story of that start?
I love stories. Go.
She loves this story.
I love this
But you
story.
always miss bits.
Do
so
I
I'll just
do-
slow it
Sorry,
down.
you can add them in.
We were in
down.
the car one day. She'd been there for 3 months, and let me backtrack a bit. So we had an online store for 10 years. We were one of the first online stores
Amazing.
in Australia, right? And it did absolutely nothing. We spent like $250,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money back then, you can
Yeah.
imagine.
It's a lot of
And-
money now.
Yeah,
Okay,
for a
a lot of money
website.
now.
Still
Sorry,
a lot
yeah,
of-
it is,
still a lot of
it
money.
is. But you can't buy a house with
Yeah,
it.
no,
Okay.
no, that's true.
Anyway, so we lost all that because it was such a big flop. So it sat there. My husband kept saying, no, we've got this, we've got that, we own it, it's great. So Lauren came along and looked at it and said, this is nothing, I have to start from scratch.
Yeah, this
I
is
thought
crap.
that was fun.
Oh,
That was
no.
fun. First funny thing,
You
but
know, one good tip that just
little
you
gem.
know, put a little thing in
Yeah.
that everyone should do. Before I started, Mum and Dad said, you are not going to be working for us. We don't want to cause any financial dynamics in our family because we're an Italian family.
Yeah.
Family's like, rock. So they said, if you want to do it, you start your own business. You basically license the Motto name. So we were almost like a franchise.
Yeah.
We will go into be a partnership with you. So, but you do not work for Motto. Motto is
like
not going
that.
to be paying you. You're on your own. You got to make your own money. So that's just the baseline.
The
of this
hustle
story.
mentality.
Yeah,
You,
right.
had, you had to make your own
So
way. I
3
like
months
that.
in, Yeah, so three months. Well, we were teaching our kids.
Yeah.
You know,
I
how
like
to teach
that.
them from a very young age. If there's something you want to do with your kids, I'm going to give everyone this tip: is sit them down when they're the right. Excuse me, the right age. And I don't know what age that is for you, but for me it was 16, 15, and 14. Sat them all down. I said, look, this is where our families come from, and I gave them the history of all my Italian mamas working the bloody plot in Italy. John gave the story of the guy that came out for stealing malt, when Australia started. So went right through everything to today and how successful John and I were at the time and still are. And they have to do better.
Yeah.
Every single generation has improved, and that's up to you now to improve. And I reckon that started because that very day, Lauren went into her bedroom and started making a dress.
Oh,
Wow.
Didn't you? You went
Yeah,
and cut
no,
it out
you
on the floor,
definitely
design your own label.
Taught us how to
and-
hustle.
Yeah. Anyway, that wasn't the story I was going to give. The story I was going to give. Can I still do that now?
Yeah, just needed that baseline.
Yeah, you're right. You have to add in your little sidekick. Anyway, 3 months into her having her little business at Motto, she said to me in the car, Mum, what happens with the profit? Do I make a profit? I said, yeah. Well, I explained all that. And I said, and because we were both in partnership, we were 50-50, I said, you get 50% of the profit and I get 50% of the profit. So I don't know how many days it was. I don't remember. I don't know if you do.
Because I think the original investment, you put in 5K and I put in 5K.
Yeah,
Because I had to buy a laptop.
each.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
I put in
of course.
5,000 each. So it was pretty good. Yeah, we were equal. So 3 months in, I just remember it was 3 months. She said, Mum, Dad, need a meeting in the conference room. So she took us into the conference room. She pulled out $5,000. She said, I'm buying you out.
Oh,
I didn't want to share the profits.
That's
It was a good move.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you.
I didn't have the heart to tell her that the actual thing was worth more now.
Yeah.
And you need to give me more for it. But no, we let her have that one. So you had a head start, love.
Thanks.
Smart. That's
Thanks.
smart. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it all evolves.
Wow.
And then, fast forward, kind of we had retail, we've had e-commerce, we did wholesale as well at the time. We did a bit of everything. But probably the next huge shift in the business was when COVID happened
Mm-hmm.
because our company was so reliant on bricks and mortar being majority of our revenue.
how many stores did you have?
We had at the
8 or
8 or
9.
9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 80% of our revenue came from bricks and mortar,
Yeah.
and then the remaining 20 was e-commerce. And then obviously
It
overnight,
changed.
all except one store was in Melbourne. So our revenue just went to zero really quickly. And everyone flipped to e-com. So all of a sudden, we've got this business that's very built for bricks and mortar. Even the way our warehouse operated, our staff operated, all of a sudden, e-com became the focus. So it kind of felt like we were a brand new business. It's like you get your handbag and you've got all your stuff in it. It's like we turned that handbag around, shook everything out. It scrambled everywhere, and we just had to pick up those pieces very, very quickly because orders were coming. Customers were waiting, and that's then kind of how the live streams took off. So we've been doing them. We were just talking about it for 6 years, every day.
Every day. No day amiss?
Monday to Friday.
Monday.
Oh, Monday.
The odd weekend. If
Sometimes we do it on
4
weekends.
o'clock every day you jump on.
I love that. And you've obviously built like an amazing community by doing that. Have you seen sales increase since doing the online stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Neighbours.
Customer
Yeah, neighbours.
retention rate,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah. We
Yeah.
do have a bit of a very special and unique
Amazing.
following, I would say, to Motto. And that's never sort of been different. Now it's very digitally focused. But even prior to doing the lives and, having a Facebook group community and all that sort of thing, we were always very focused on that, even in the store days. It just wasn't a digital footprint. So you couldn't measure it the same way you can now. But connecting with people has been a huge part of the brand's ethos, connection, community, and culture. I would say that we are passionate about bringing our customers in and getting to know us authentically.
Yeah.
That's probably what they like, but they can listen to this podcast. And
Yeah,
let us know.
exactly.
how has the I'm going to call it rebirth gone? And what is your demographic like? Because I hadn't heard of Motto until went to the tennis with Tal, and I was like, what's this lavender kit you got on? And she's like, it's Motto, and they're doing a collaboration with Elena Dock and that. And I was like, oh, cool. I'd never heard of you guys.
Yeah. We always say it's more of a life stage than an age, but once people's youngest kids get to high school, you sort of get this moment where you go, oh my God, I've been living in active wear and my kids don't need me anymore. Like my daughter's just started year 7. As soon as my other one starts, the independence just changes. They don't need you. They don't want you around. But you can start dressing up. You can wear high heels. You can wear a white jacket and it won't get dirty.
Yeah.
So you get this refreshed energy where you want to create that 2.0 version of your life.
I like this.
And it's usually around 40. But sometimes it's 50, sometimes it's younger.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's for everyone I find when their youngest starts high school, they come into Motto and they are like, it's a kid in a candy store because we support the body shapes that it's different for when they were 30 because now they've had babies. So waist changes.
Yeah.
And you're ready to dress up again. Whereas when you're a mum with young kids, it's hard to dress up unless you go to an office every day and it's acceptable.
Yeah.
So I'd say 40 plus is our demographic, but really it's about the stage of life they're in. And they stay around until they pretty much when they start to retire, that's sort of when they can I say this? Don't spend as much money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's when people are working, they're going out, they're doing stuff every day.
Yeah, because it
that's our
makes you
girl.
feel good and confident and stuff. That's so funny you should say that, because when I had my daughter Roller, like I'm very into fashion and stuff like that, but I lost myself a little bit because I was like, oh, jeans and like a mohair jumper. And I'm like, I don't even know why I'm wearing this because it's not me. So I can understand when some people stay in that for 10, 11, 12 years.
Yep.
I quickly got myself out of it because I was like, this is not me. But it makes so much sense.
And you're a fashion girl.
Yes.
So the girls that aren't fashion girls, they don't know, there's no confidence.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty
So
risky.
they keep doing what
It's
they
so
did.
risky. Yeah.
But then you don't feel like you.
Yes.
So, yeah, we've had a lot of like aha moments and really emotional moments with customers when they actually find something that's them. They find themselves when they're in our shop or even on our lives. Like it's such a deep connection. I think that's probably part of our community.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you were to describe, like, what would be your best item at the moment? I know you have a Moto Miracle pant.
Oh, yeah.
Would that be your best seller, or what's like one of your favorite styles to sell?
Oh, I love we do a lot of styles
I
and we have
love
favourites every
Yeah.
day.
Oh my God, I can imagine.
Yeah, everything's our favourite.
Yeah, that's right. I have a new I'm saying the live. It's my new favourite, but just for today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There'll
we
be a
love
different one
everything.
tomorrow.
But
Yeah.
the suit that you wore to the tennis,
Yes.
that's been a new, really iconic product for
Right.
us. It's one of our winners. The Miracle Pant has been around for so many years. It's like a bread and butter. Everyone just loves it.
Yeah.
But for us, it's not a fashion piece.
Okay.
It's just a piece.
Staple.
It's a staple.
Yeah.
Whereas we
Layering
want the
piece,
lilac
staple.
suit with the stripe down the
Yeah.
side. And
That's my vibe.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
Wear that vibe.
when
So
I got
cool.
sent that, I was like, oh my God, I'm choosing lilac. We're
Yeah.
having a purple moment at the moment. We're like obsessed with like anything lilac.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, love it. What's been the hardest part for you guys of like scaling or decision making?
Oh, God, there's so many.
Oh my God, there's so many.
Probably knowing if it's the right thing to focus on, because where we focus is the most important thing, and you can't focus on too many things when you're thinking about scale. Knowing that you're picking the right thing, and for us, every moment that we've really taken off and it's changed the trajectory of the business has been all around for our brand connecting with people, whether it's the lives. That was a massive unlock for us. It transformed who we were as a brand. And another huge unlock has been working with influencers who are sharing our ethos and our story, with clothes are attached to that, but like women
That's
supporting
a secondary.
women.
Clothing's
Yeah.
always the secondary.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Women supporting women has been every unlock. But the hard part is, okay, if we're going to get our team to focus on one area, is it the right area? Because they will go with it and they'll go with it hard. Now, if it doesn't work, is it the execution? Is it the idea? Is it the product? Is it the message? So for me, the pressure's always on. Are we sending people down the right road? That is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Always. It's always in a marketing space for us.
Yeah.
Have to agree with that. One of the things one of our mentors always talks to us is the importance of brand and branding. He will say, by you going to a certain restaurant, you're telling me who you are. He's like, when someone wears our leggings, they're telling the world who they are when they put on their leggings. So when a woman is wearing Moto around, she is saying that, hey, like, look,
So she is.
I'm this
the-
person.
I'm this person. I've gone through that stage of life. I'm this now. I'm looking after me. So I think that's really important that we understand what the feeling behind our brands.
Yeah, we've definitely got a deep emotion
Yeah.
behind. I mean, and a lot of brands probably do,
Yeah.
but
I think that's what a strong brand is.
yeah.
Because if we look at like an iconic brand like Ralph Lauren, if I'm walking around in a polo, I'm going to feel a certain way, but also it's sending
I'm
a
gonna
message.
think- yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Do you know
so
what I
true.
mean?
Yeah, because
So-
it's like an armor. It's like a uniform. So
Yeah.
you can be who you want to be by using fashion, even if it's fake or if it's genuine. You
Exactly.
can be the person you want to be.
Yep.
Yeah, and we talk about that a lot.
Yeah, fashion's always been an expression of who you are on the inside anyway. That's kind of a way of telling the world, hey, don't mess with me because I'm this girl
Yeah.
or whatever.
I love exactly what you just said. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
How do you guys, I know before you were saying how you came in and you separated, like not coming into, how do you work together?
Oh, we
I
love
don't
working
know if I
together.
could work with my mum.
Don't. Do we love working
we do,
together?
but I do think the main thing is that we never had the same bank account. So when
Yeah.
we're close with a lot of family business. It's a sort of a community on its own, and any problem that happens, it's all around money. Money can break up families, relationships.
So true.
Often it comes down to that. So by us separating it, I don't know what now it's all one and it's all mine. But while I was quite immature at 24. I had no idea what was going on in the Motto company bank account. I don't know what you paid. I have no clue. All I knowed was what I chose with my money. And equally, my mum and dad did not know what I was doing with my money. It was up to me to be profitable. If I wanted to go and spend 50 grand on a brand ambassador, that was my call, because they would never have done that.
Yeah.
That wasn't their philosophy and their belief. And I wouldn't have agreed with probably some of the decisions you made. So there was actually, it was like we were two separate businesses sharing a co-working space.
Yeah.
Effectively. There was no money to make things get muddy. So there was no arguments over decisions, because my decision was for my business and their decision was for theirs.
Yeah.
Until it molded over time.
I don't know one time that we've ever argued.
No way.
Do you?
No, I
do
don't
you?
either.
No, seriously.
That
I
is
just
amazing.
I don't think so. And
We should ask the office that question.
Yes.
no, I mean, we have disagreements about
Yes,
things,
some
but
of
they
the
never
things.
like. Do we have to, really get to the nitty gritty of
Disagreements are
stuff.
healthy.
Yeah. Well, we
No,
we
we've never
can't-
had
we're
an
not,
argument.
We're not yes people to each
No.
other. And I think it's because for me, I totally respect you, and I'm assuming you're going to respect your mum, right? I'll tell you that. There's, I think mutual respect.
Yeah.
And we understand each other, and we actually do know exactly where we're taking the business. There's no falseness in that, and I don't want to do this and shit. You know what I mean? So the important things, the values are the same, and the very important stuff is actually the same, I think.
Yeah. And we've recently got quite a new team, because we've had so much growth over the last few years. So we've got a lot of people are newish. And when I talk to them about the vision and explain to them where we've been and where we're going, it's so weird, because it is exactly the same outside of like the way it happens, because now we've got AI.
Yeah.
It is no different from how Motto were when I remember it when I was 5, sitting in managers' meetings, sitting on the managers' laps, and they had their lipstick and they were all very glamorous.
And you pull it out and put it on.
It was so beautiful. It's no different to the kind of philosophy my mum was teaching back then. So the way we do things are different. But at the core, Motto has not changed. That girl has not changed. She always wanted to be bold. She was always independent. She was always a bit of a rebel. She ran her own show, and kind of, if someone didn't like it, well, see ya. That's always been who we are. So probably because we've got such a deep-seated investment in what we do for women, there's nothing to argue about. If we disagree, we might think the way to get there is different, but we actually both want the same thing.
Yeah, you're both on the same page.
And same with John. My dad is still in the business too.
I was going to ask that. If he's still in the business.
I mean, if anyone argues, we sometimes gang up on him. But,
that's right.
Yeah. Because we're the creatives and he's the process.
Yeah.
But he's the same. At the end of the day, it comes down to doing what's right for your customer, and you just can't go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. We always talk about I have so much respect for anyone that works with a family member, because it can get very messy.
We're best friends, and people were like, oh, how do you do it? And we're like, oh.
We're kind of like family, but we used to probably have arguments.
More disagreements.
Yeah, disagreements. But we also worked out how to communicate properly. I think communication is a massive thing in business, especially when you're working with someone close to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you get close to people, even if they're not your family or not your best friend. You end up getting so close.
You spend so much time with
It's
them.
an emotional investment.
Yes. We talk about that all the time, because we have this studio, so we have a lot of shows, and we've made a lot of really amazing relationships and stuff, and we're kind of those people that just become friends with people. Like, we're so, I don't know, we just have that vibe and that energy, and we just, we're like, how do we separate our relationship and not be so personal with people that we work with? Like, it's a big challenge.
It's very hard. It's very hard. And we have done it. We still do it. We get, especially mum and dad, it's so close. Like I always say, I'll go to Christmas Day lunch at mum and dad's house. There will be at least 3 staff members there. I don't know how they've and great.
Yeah.
But it's like there's always people that work with Motto in some way that have just become part of the family.
Yeah.
And a family business or a business that's built on friendship like yours, it brings people in. People want to be a part of that. So we think we will treat them like our family.
Yeah.
That is what it has to be. We're not a big corporate structure. We don't want to be. We want to be that Italian family, and people are coming over, and even though now I don't let mum go out for dinner with the new people, I'm like, leave them alone. Because she wants to invite them out for dinner every night. I'm like, back off.
I want to get to know them. And she's saying
fair.
I can't now. That's not fair, is it?
Because I know why. Because she wants to just merge their thinking into what she wants.
That's a bit wrong.
Plant seeds. Yeah, plant seeds. I know your style.
No, I thought that one guy, I hope he doesn't mind me talking about this, comes down from Queensland. I thought he'd be lonely, so I thought, I'll take him out for dinner, be
fair.
friendly.
That's
That was
nice.
all. It wasn't about brainwashing anyone.
That's fair. I like that. That's cute.
Faye, I would love your opinion. You were speaking earlier about hypothetically, like you said, you lost a lot of money, but you've made up a lot of money. And I feel like in the Rag Trade magazine, I'm seeing a new business is closing down. Like
every 5 minutes, it really is.
At the moment,
Yeah.
100%. You've survived, I'd say, 3 or 4 of these economic climates. How do you get through it? What would your advice be to someone in the retail space?
Well, the thing that changes in those times is not about money. It's how people spend their money. Firstly, I suppose you've got to find a way of getting that money to you. And to me, it was always about the people. So if you focus on the customer, I mean, this sounds like so passé, my God. You've got to know them because they're changing. And if you're not understanding they're changing and you're changing and everything's changing, how the hell are you going to get to know them? So that, I reckon, is the secret. You've got to really know where they're at. You know, and people get, I mean, and if clothing is a reflection of where they're at, you're going to know what's in their head. So I find ways of getting in their head. I mean, I'm a big advocate for change and I love social media and everything. I love everything that's new. So that's what I always focus on. So I'm always ahead of that. That seems to be
the
my
psychology
my
of
thing.
the customers.
Yeah. And it works.
Yeah.
Because we're still here.
Who would be someone that you would have like a dream collaboration with? Like I know you just did the collaboration with Yelena. Is there anyone in Australia or international that you'd love to work with?
Oh, so many.
So many. You
so
probably know more than
many.
me. Who's your
Oh, I
secret?
don't know.
Who's
Like
your
you can
secret?
manifest it right here on Curious Conversations.
And I don't know if it's brand aligned, but there's something I love about Pamela Anderson's whole
she's coming to
mentality
Australia
right now. Well, great. If you guys talk to her, give her my
Well,
number.
we might be.
We're trying
Yeah, great.
to win
We're
our
ready.
episodes.
Yep.
Awesome. I love that now she's like, she doesn't, am I allowed to swear on this?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
go
please.
for it.
We've
Got this, we've got this underlying concept about our customer and it's called welcome to the fuck it era, because women who get to that point, all of a sudden they are not bothered about what the mums at school think about them. They don't care what their sister-in-law thinks about them. If she wants to wear bright coloured balloon pants, she's going to wear them. And I love that Pamela Anderson and I think Brooke Shields did this at the start with her too. They don't care. I don't want to wear makeup. So I'm not going to wear makeup. I look good anyway. So women like that, I think, are very much so aligned with what we're trying to portray. So that would be cool.
Well, my favourite is the president of Italy at the moment.
Georgia
Maloney.
Malone. Georgia
Well,
Maloney.
all right, bring her in.
She's
I
feisty,
reckon
huh?
we should
I like
dress
her.
Yeah, I like
Oh,
her.
yeah, fun.
dress
I like
her.
a good spicy
and I like her.
woman.
I like her energy. She's hot.
Yeah.
I like
so
her too.
people at that level, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Women of influence.
women of
Yeah.
influence. Someone who's really going to make a difference in the world to me is fantastic. And just what Yelena's gone through, you know, and how she's changed her world.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's massive.
Absolutely.
So they're my idols.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the roles in the business now? Faye, what are you doing? Are you just
Look,
observing?
you know what? Well, I had cancer about 13 years ago, and I don't want to make this sad, but I thought I was going to die, you know.
I'm
so I
sorry.
had to kind of rewrite. No, everything's great. Everything's good. Had to change my life. That's what that was about. So at that point, I knew I had to change what I was doing at work, and we kind of just dumped on Lauren because.
Well, you didn't. But yes,
No?
thank you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank
well,
you.
I kind of
I had to step up.
Yeah.
she had to
I had to
step
get
up.
out of my e-commerce little world and go and do some other stuff that was
Yeah.
happening on the other side of the business.
And I mean, I worked right through. I wasn't going to be one of those just sitting in a chair moping, but then I knew I had to make some changes. And then, you know, you just get older, which is a real drainer. I don't like that part. But as I got older, I found there were things I didn't like doing.
Yeah.
So I dropped all the things I didn't like doing. I won't say just in case any of our staff are listening.
They're like, that's why she
That's
doesn't
what
talk
I
to
do
me.
now.
Yeah, it's like the hard stuff. I got rid of the hard stuff and just took the good stuff. So I'm a designer and
Most of your role is focused on
designing.
design.
And that's really where I love to hang out.
concepts.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love to hang out there and
very product focused.
yeah, and I love doing the social media thing.
Yeah.
That's fun. So as long as it's still fun and you know what, if I'm still good at it, I figured I might as well do it. If I'm not good at it, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Is there a big difference in Faye pre being sick and post being sick in business world? And
Yeah. Well, most of my time was spent training staff, make them image consultants, making sure that they had amazing customer service, all that side of things, doing the designing. What else did I do? I know I did a lot of other
you
stuff.
did a lot, but there was a lot of hustling.
A lot of hustling, a lot of being a business owner.
Always
I suppose.
thinking.
It was all that sort of stuff, and it was
Stress.
very exciting, and it was great.
Yeah.
But then I had to give time to heal the cancer. So it made me stop. I really think that's probably why I got it. It made me stop and rethink stuff. But it was really hard to let things go. My God, when I had to give it to Lauren, I mean, even now it's almost like pulling teeth because I want to stick my nose in everything, don't I?
You do.
Yeah. It's really hard to let go when it's your baby like that. Really hard. But pat on the back, I've done it.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Proud of you.
Yeah. So now I just stick to the design area and.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
80%
of our roles in
Sometimes.
product.
Yeah.
The other 20 is trying to what's going on over there? What's happening over there? Who said that?
I love that.
And Lauren, your role's everything else?
Yeah. I'm still heavily involved in product, and it's a space that I want to kind of dabble in a little bit more because I've really loved doing the Yelena collection and just what I want to do, I suppose, for the next vision of the business is really combine the marketing background that I've had with product, because I think they go hand in hand. It shouldn't be a product team and a marketing team. Yes, they talk, but it needs to be very immersive.
Yeah.
But my role, well, I'm the CEO, so just a lot of managing high level strategies. Yeah, that sounds really boring.
Yeah.
And a lot of product and a lot of hustling and new opportunities, growth. I've got lots of amazing people that do a lot of that work, so I don't want to take that off them. But it's probably just the person who kind of keeps everything together.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
So you don't like being the front person because you think as a CEO you shouldn't be.
I don't
but I
really-
think it's great.
I don't like being the
get
front
out
person.
there.
I prefer
And I
to be
think people
behind
love
the
it.
scenes.
Yeah.
She likes to be the front of the scenes.
Yeah.
I'm you.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm looking at myself here.
Yeah.
Have you learnt anything from your mum and dad's journey that has changed you as a leader in business
I
now?
would say so, of course. I've had to, because you just become a product of your parents, especially when I've worked with you effectively since I was under that table.
Child labour.
You do become them. And because the business has changed so much, and I think it's the norm was for the boomer, the generation to work so hard, right? They were in there. They wouldn't ask, my mum and dad, they wouldn't ask someone to go and pick something up or clean the toilet or mop the floor. They just did it because if it was good enough for someone else, it was good enough for them. And I completely believe that. But I think that
you don't do it.
well, that probably followed me through a little bit to taking all the responsibility and not allowing other staff to have the responsibility. And it's okay up to a point. Like, I think probably, when your business is doing a couple of $1 million in sales, you still can be that person that does everything. But if you want to, this might be a good scale unlock. If you want to scale past that, you have to bring in other people. You can't do everything. You can't. Doesn't matter if you're the smartest person in the world. You physically can't. So being able to let go of some things, which was hard because I felt like I was just being lazy by doing this, but it actually empowers them, because if I go and do something for someone, I thought that I was helping them. I'm not. I'm disempowering them.
Yeah.
So I got that from you guys. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, take it all.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's just a different mindset now to get to the next phase that we want to get to.
Yeah.
And so that next phase that you want to get to, what is that?
Well, it's pretty endless where we want to get to, but we've got some, big revenue targets that we want to hit. We want to grow like crazy. For me, I want to make sure that I've left my footprint on my family business. The biggest fear I would have is taking the family business, which was very successful, and keeping it just successful. For me, that's a fail, because what have I done? I've just taken all your hard work and then I've taken it and I've just followed along and, had a walk in the park. I don't want to do that. I want to make it so phenomenal what I've been able to contribute to the business. Otherwise, I feel like I haven't achieved.
Yeah.
So I want to, in 30 years' time, I want to sit back and go, oh my God, I never would have thought Motto, our little family business, could have got to that stage. I want all the other big brands to be absolutely shitting their pants because we're coming.
Yes.
I like that.
I love that.
I like
Good
that.
direction. I love that.
And what advice would you both give to business owners that are listening?
God, I have to say never give up. And it's the fact that what you don't know is what's going to be pulling you forward, That's just such a win for me. Just never give up. Because when the person who gives up, I'll leave you with this, the person who gives up is the loser in everything.
Interesting.
And I'd probably say, and we've learnt this so many times, there is always something that you are not doing that will unlock huge things for you. And often those unlocks are free. So going live with my mum in front of a camera, it was free. We didn't have anything fancy. We just had a phone. Then doing a huge amount of outreach with influencers and all the stuff that we've ever done, which has just gone boom, didn't take much. All it took was the idea, the commitment. That's it. And it changes everything. Then the money comes and you can actually invest. So it's always there. You're just looking at the wrong thing.
Do the free stuff first.
And it sounds like consistency.
Yeah. And you got to be passionate. If you're passionate, it doesn't feel hard. It would be hard in the fashion industry, especially because there's so many moving parts if you weren't passionate, because then it would feel like a really hard slog. But if you're passionate, you can get through the hard times. There's always hard times.
I think passion is actually what keeps you there, because if you don't have the passion, it's hard and it's boring, and why would you do it? It's
you're only doing it for money. Yeah.
And that's not going to keep you there. The money's never going to keep you there. But passion, that really gets something out of you that you don't even know you have.
I think we should finish on that because that was great advice.
Thank you for having us, guys.
Thank
Thank
you
you so much.
Thank
You
you.
too.
I like you.
We could come for dinner anytime.
I'm an Italian gal, so I have high expectations.
You know how it's done then.
Where can people find you? Where can they watch you at 4 p.m? Give us all the details.
All right. Well, Instagram, Motto Fashions page, or Facebook, Motto Fashions page. We're both there most days. Sometimes it's just one of us at 4:00.
Yep.
Faye has a thriving social platform.
What is it? Faye Browne?
I don't know.
It's Faye Motto Fashions.
Faye Browne Motto Fashions or
Faye
Faye Motto Fashions?
Motto Fashions on all channels.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm shit at social, so don't follow me. Follow her. You'll see me occasionally.
That's what she's doing in her spare time now.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's been such a pleasure.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.